All right, Smell Good family, before we get started with today's video, just want to let you know this video is brought to you by my good friends over at Max Aroma. All right, so we talk about Max Aroma every single month, and Max Aroma has been a place that I have been shopping at even before this YouTube thing really took off. All right, so they are an excellent resource of niche designer fragrances that you can tap into for some really great prices. And most importantly for me, really broaden your fragrance journey. All right, so they have all the different house Parfums de Marly, Initios, Oman Luxuries, Bodedis to the Victorious, and so much more. All right, great points and rewards program as well that I've surely taken advantage of with Max Aroma. All right, so highly recommend you hitting the link down below, tapping in. If you see anything that interests you, save yourself an extra 10% off. Those Black Friday sales are happening now, so tap in. All right, and then again, you can use Dedrick 10 for 10% off of your order. And then another thing that's probably the best thing that they offer is the ability to sample. And you know how I talk about this all the time: sample, sample, sample. All right, I get the blind buy brigade, the blind buy warriors standing tall. I get it, but sampling is truly the best way to go. All right, get your sample and see if it works for you. See if it's worth investing in or making that purchase. All right, so Max Aroma has everything covered for you. Tap into them. And today we got 5 fragrances here that are gonna just help you just smell good. Sort of like a smell good family playbook. Yeah, something like that. All right, let's get started with today's video. YouTube, what's going on, YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and now I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell Good family, hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And as always, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, so as I stated in the intro, this video was brought to you by my good friends over at Max Aroma, and these 5 fragrances that we're going to be talking about today, they're just going to simply help you smell your best, smell great. And we have different situations here with the fragrances that could just be paired with what you got going on in your day-to-day life, or those special occasions, or those different things that are going on in our lives every single day. All right, so let's go ahead and tap in. All right, up first, this is just one of my favorite plum fragrances that you can get your hands on. This is just simply beautiful. I might actually wear this today. This is just outstanding. From the very first time I smelled it, I fell in love with it, and it has not stopped. From the house of Initio, we have the Great Paragon. The Great Paragon. Beautiful plum, Palo Santo, black pepper, clary sage. This stuff is absolutely gorgeous, man. You can wear this in the spring, but typically in the fall and the winter, that's when I wear this fragrance, and it is just simply stunning, and it just smells fantastic. And I blend this with different scenarios. I've worn this to the office, I've worn this on the date night, I've worn this kind of out and about, just hanging with friends on a fun evening out. It's just one of those ones, man. This is just one of the great fragrances in my collection, and I'll never forget the experience that I had. I was out and about, and I smelled it in one of my local department stores, and I was blown away. And that very evening, on the way home from being out and about, I found a bottle of this and I purchased it. Like, I had to have it. I was fortunate enough to get a small sample and just was smelling it on my hand. My wife was loving it as well, and it just simply smells great. A part of my smell good playbook, you know what I mean? It's like a can't miss type of vibe, and this is something to really look into. You can get the samples on Max Aroma, those faux leather samples. Tap in, and it's just awesome. Unisex in my opinion for sure, but very sexy, and just overall positive energy and positive vibes with this fragrance, and it's just one that I love to wear. All right, so from the house of Initio, we have Paragon, the Great Paragon. This is outstanding. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. All right, up next, we're going to switch the tone up for those who are not interested in the more sweeter fragrances. You want something a little bit more masculine, you want something a little bit more bold, you want something that is a little bit more attention grabbing. Well, here you go. From the house of Parfums de Marly, we have Godolphin, the fingerprint magnet of a bottle. Really dope bottle though, that all gold bottle, that gaudy gold bottle. But this here, man, oh oh my God, just beautiful. This raspberry spice, leathery profile, in the vein of what, you know, other blends of like that Tom Ford Tuscan leather comes to mind, in the vein of that. But I actually prefer this over Tuscan leather. It's a little bit more, I don't know, it's just a little bit more exciting for me. The profiles are very similar, but for me, it's just, I just love the combination of the opening. It just comes out very sweet raspberry, some spice undertone. You get that leathery feel to this with the leather's hugging everything in this fragrance. It's just fantastic, and it's just one that I got this for a really great deal during Black Friday. And again, Black Friday sales are going on right now for Max Aroma, so you might, if you've been looking into this and you want to tap into this, this is one to look into. One of the more underrated Parfums de Marly's that are out there, in my opinion. You don't really see that much conversation, but for the masculine man looking for something that is just going to absolutely, help you stand out, wherever you're going or whatever you're doing. And then, most importantly, just smelling your best. This is a very great smelling fragrance, part of that Smell Good playbook that I've been talking about. So very good here. Get it for a great price right now on Max Aroma. From the House of Parfums de Marly, we have the beautiful, in my opinion, Godolphin. This stuff is excellent. Excellent. I love this stuff. All right, up next, newer to my collection, and I believe this house is one of the feature houses on Max Aroma, and this stuff is very good, very sexy, fun, kind of a mysterious, kind of sweet, or spice and sweet type of textures here. From the House of Oman Luxury, we have Caden. I believe Caden is their latest release. I believe it released earlier this year, or late 2024. But God, that smells amazing. You get some sweetness here, you get some spices here, nice kind of fruity tones to the fragrance as well. It's absolutely fantastic. For me, this is going to be a night out special, especially during the holidays. Like, this is going to be worn to family outings and holiday events and Christmas parties and things of that nature. I just talked about this fragrance a few weeks ago, and I just find it to be so fitting, especially for this time of year. Unisex. Ladies, don't let the kind of, leathery, spicy nuances of this fragrance kind of run you off. I believe if a woman wears this, she's going to steal the show in any room that she is in. This is just a really, really great fragrance. Puts you in the mind frame of some other fragrances that are out there. I think like Initio's Side Effect, maybe Algabra's Eye of Seven Hills, but this has a different structure to it. All right, and it's really, really good. So when you're talking about saffrons and coffees and vanillas and stuff like that, they can kind of, build a familiar experience, but wearing the fragrance gives you a totally different experience, if that makes any sense. All right, so could remind you of something, but it can play differently on your skin and play differently in the wearing, and that's what this does for me. So I have Eye of Seven Hills from Algabra. I don't have Side Effect, but I have this, and it's not redundant to have those two fragrances that I have, and in my opinion. So really, really, really good. Great for this time of year. Available right now on Max Aroma. Awesome stuff. From the House of Oman Luxury, we have Caden. Caden's definitely gonna help you smell great, for real. A part of your smell good playbook. Yeah, you might want to consider that. All right. Up next, man, this is a true darling in my collection, and admittedly, I haven't been able to wear it that much. I've worn this like 2 times, maybe 3, but I'm going to be wearing it a lot more, especially as the cooler weather continues to usher its way down south. All right, so from the House of Xerjoff, we have 1860 watts of Decas. I think it's Decas. I know I've heard it being called Decas, a Decas, but this is lovely. Beautiful iris. Slightly powdery, fresh, sweet. Little tuberose in here as well. The woody nuances of this fragrance is special. There's this kind of fuzzy coziness to this fragrance. I love them. The first time I wore this, my wife was doing some Christmas shopping. I had just got it in. I think it was the day before. I just got it in. The next day we went out doing some Christmas shopping, and I wore this fragrance. And every department store that we went to, no lie, we went to like 4 or 5 of them. I got either a "man, you smell good" or "what are you wearing" from someone while we were moving around, including my wife. She's a part of that. So this will bring compliments. It's a beautiful profile. Like I said, you get this slightly powdery iris, very nice touch to the tuberose. I'm not the biggest tuberose fan, but it is not out of control here. The woods, the cozy factor to this fragrance is very, very nice. And that's just what it is to me. This is a cozy fragrance. You can wear this in many different ways. I haven't worn it to the office. I don't know if I will, but moving out and about, moving around, date nights, nights in, you know, watching a movie, sipping on some wine and some pistachios or some chocolate covered almonds or something like that, vibing with my wife, man, or something. You know, this is just one of those fragrances that will, you know, create a vibe, keep a vibe. You feel me? So very beautiful fragrance, underrated, not a lot of conversation. I love this stuff. This is one of my favorite Xerjoffs I've ever got my nose on. It's towards the top, in my opinion. I preferred this over Naxos when I was kind of debating between the two a while ago. But even today, like, it's not even close. Give me this and I'm good to go. So from the house of 1861, we have Decas. Beautiful bottle. If you know Xerjoff, fantastic stuff. This stuff is awesome. If you love iris, you like that vibe, you might want to look into that. All right. And last but not least, this is just flat out a secret weapon. This is like one of the first pages in your Smell Good playbook. One of the first pages in my Smell Good playbook. This stuff is just awesome. From the house of BDK Parfums, we have Gris Charnel Extrait. Gris Charnel Extrait. Boy, is this nuclear. This is a weapon for sure, man. Look. Oh my God. Beautiful creamy fig, woods. Just this stuff is so great, bro. You can't go wrong with either the original. My wife has the original. I prefer the Extrait because it's a little bit more masculine. It's a little bit more, I don't say intense. Has a little bit more depth to it. The woody natures of the fragrance really kind of stand out here. I just prefer it, and my wife prefers the original. So kind of got the best of both worlds. But this stuff is elite level, man. I love to wear this when I'm out and about, outside in the cooler weather. It's just something about the cooler weather in this. Not saying that you can only wear this in the cool weather. I think it's a 3-season fragrance: spring, summer, fall. Spring, fall, and winter. But boy, is this something that's going to allow you to stand out. This is an absolute banger, bro. And I love how the original smells on my wife. It's one of the more sexier fragrances that I enjoy smelling off of her. Performance is not an issue here. Great quality. If you know about BDK, you know what you're getting. And this is something that, in my opinion, you have to consider. You have to consider it being a part of your Smell Good playbook for sure. Like that fragrance wardrobe, all right? That fragrance wardrobe, we talk about it all the time. This is just another one that's just gonna allow you to smell great, super great, really good. It is a fantastic offering, man. So available over on Max Aroma. Right now, from the house of BDK, we have Gris Charnel, the Extrait. For those asking for the difference, what's the difference between the two? Again, this one is a little bit more masculine, a little bit more present with the woods with this fragrance. The structure and the bases of the fragrance are pretty much the same, but you can definitely tell the difference with just the overall complete product between the original and the Extrait. There is clear differences there, in my opinion. This is the one I go with, and I love it. Great stuff here. All right. So there you guys go, man. All right. Take advantage of the deals that are going on over on Black Friday. There's sales running on most of these fragrances and so many, many more over at Max Aroma. Again, you can use my code DEDRICK10 to save you 10% on anything at checkout on over at Max Aroma. Sampling, discovery sets, all of that is available to you. And that Smell Good playbook, that wardrobe of yours. I know a lot of y'all who watch fragrance content, a lot of us who create fragrance content, I mean, all of us kind of have one thing in common, right? We just want to smell good. And we shed away all the conversations of clone, niche, and designer. And we just kind of get away from that and just really talk about the love that we have of just smelling good and trying different things and creating our own opinions about it and keeping it a healthy conversation. I think this community in this space will be much better off with that vibe. But who am I? I just got a small corner on this YouTube channel, this YouTube platform. And that's cool, because over here with the Smell Good family, it's always positive energy, it's always positive vibes, and just working on that and wanting to do that daily. All right, so happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody. It is the holiday season. This is my favorite time of year. Very joyful, very thankful, very grateful for literally everything. My hard times, life lessons, great times, good times, just thankful for it all. And also thankful for being able to smell fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. It's something about that. All right. So until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. Positive energy, positive vibes only. All right. Spike up, spike it down. Spiking that thing all around. And remember, what you put onto this world is exactly what you are going to get back. All right. That's real now. Keep that in mind. All right. Peace, man. Until next time, Splacker.